y'all. This weather is a doozy. We're running a little late, but that's all right. I'm trying to get you some music hooked up. We're going to have a good time. It was raining. I said, you know what? I said, oh, yeah. Our unknown destination is where we were last week. Be Magic Beauty Salon. The proprietor will be here in just a few minutes. We're in a relaxed situation. Go ahead and get you a cup of apple juice or a cup of hot tea. I don't know. Some of y'all might be drinking a little hot toddy. Hey, Davita, how you doing? Good to see you. Davita, do you want to come on live? I can put you on live. Just say yes or no. I know you might be at home in your pajamas. Hey, Charzetta. Okay. How y'all doing? Getting everybody time to get in. I know I'm running late. I'm in the traffic. I'm like, whew, Lord. That's a lot of traffic out there. Right. Wow. I'm liking that music. Oh, Miss Judy jamming. Hey, everybody. We're still going to be talking about black women / women married or dating in business. And we have a male guest, I believe. Ooh, I'm not sure. Let's see, Davita said, my umbrella stopped working. Did you get wet, Davita? That's all right. Hey, I didn't even put an umbrella on. When you're doing it like that, you ain't got to worry about an umbrella. Hello, Kenny Lewis. Hey, Margaret. Glad to see you guys on. Oh, thank you, Margaret. I'm trying to be beautiful. I'm trying to hold it in the middle of the road. Okay, Davita, bless your heart. Hey, when you're going natural, it can get wet. You'll be all right. Or when you're wearing hats, you know what I mean? You'll be just fine. Yeah, we're going to have a good time. I think we may be waiting on a male guest. I'm not sure. I really hope so. You see my Halloween face? I'm just as silly as I can be, but I'm in a good mood, y'all. Had a wonderful day. Took my nap. Oh, Amanda is not here. She's on the road, coming in from New York. She went to New York, is where she's originally from. And safe travels, Amanda. Just take your time. And it might be sleep. I don't know, whether Amanda has to drive Charles all the way through, or either Charles is driving. I'm not going to mess with you like that, Charles. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start the subject a little bit, talking about black women. And I said black women / women because I do realize that there are other nationalities of women who watch Kicking the Breeze. And I'm not leaving you out. I'm just talking specifically to my ethnic group when it comes to the issues that we have when it comes to trying to get ahead, or trying to move forward. And you have that husband or that boyfriend who doesn't seem to see your vision. And we know that there are a lot of people who don't see your vision, but we're talking specifically about that male, the husband. Hello, Coco. Kiss them babies for me. We're talking specifically about when you're trying to get ahead as a black woman, you already have so many odds against you, And then if you have a husband or a significant other, or even a fiance, some of them are insecure when it comes to your moving forward. And let me tell you, that's not just Well, a lot of people don't consider the ministry of business world. Yes, the ministry, your ministry, whether you are a pastor of a church or intercessor or a helper, a ministry of helps in the church, or even a community activist, sometimes your significant other doesn't understand, or even they can be in it with you and they feel as though you're outshining them. It's not an outshine, it's about putting your energy in it and doing what it is God has called you to do. Or that passion that you have on the inside, moving forward, making it happen for yourself. And people will fight you on that, and it's a horrible thing when your significant other fights you in a situation. They say all kind of things. For instance, in the ministry, oh, here comes our proprietor. Say hello.
Hello.
And give your name and let's talk. We finna get it going now.
Okay.
Look, I'm turning sideways, y'all. I'm glad I bought my scarf.
Well, my name is Christina Moore. I own B Magic Nail Lounge. This location been here for a year. I've been in business 2 years. I have done life coaching, radio, and anything that has to do with the community and benefiting the people.
Wow. And you know, we're still on the topic we were on last week, right?
What was that topic again?
Black women/women in business, dating or married, the hurdles that we have to go over,
Okay.
the fighting, I must say, that we sometimes go through. And you shared a bit of a testimony with us last week, and it was that before you moved to this level, you had a significant other.
Yes.
And he didn't understand your moving forward. Let's
Right.
talk about that a little bit.
Okay, so I had a significant other before previously being in business, and I supported any and everything that he needed to do, that he wanted to do, but in return, that wasn't granted back. And I'm a very supportive person, whether it be to my friends, family, strangers. Everybody already know that if you need help, I'm there. But when the time when I needed that person was selfish. That person was selfish, and I guess it could come from consistently always being there for someone, and then now they need to be there for you. Maybe he didn't learn the skills that he needed to learn at the time to learn how to be there for someone else.
And you know what? And we talked about this last week. And you also, the man doesn't have to have a 6-figure job. She's a go-get-it type of woman, and most women are go-getters. And she was willing, and is willing, because she is single, with no children, right? No children, single. I mean, not connected. In other words, she doesn't have a boyfriend. You know, maybe people that she may go out with occasionally, like friends, but no boyfriend. Very nice looking, business minded is what you want. And that's for a young man who, you know, may be looking for somebody and you don't know where to go. Maybe you don't try the dating sites, you know, just say, hey, you know, I saw you on Miss Judy. Do you want to go out for a cup of tea? Instead of always a glass of wine, because wine get you in trouble sometimes. They had it rhymed a little bit. But, Christina, talk about how it is for you to be a business owner now and dating.
Okay.
Is it hard, or do you find men who are gold diggers? Because they always talk about women being gold diggers, but there are some men who are gold diggers as well.
Men are at the top of the list of gold digging.
Men, she said you at the top of the list of gold digging.
They think that I'm so rich. They think like, oh, you can be my sugar mama. You the same age as me, but that's what they think in their head. When
have they verbally said this to you? At times when you
like one guy did, like he made it seem like he was just joking when he said it. But guys always insinuate that I have more time than them because they feel like I can choose my own schedule. So a lot of times the schedules are always colliding because they work different type of schedules than I do. They feel like I should bend more than them because they feel like I choose my time, when really my time is just like a 9 to 5, if not more, from the moment I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to the moment I go to bed, sometimes not until 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm always busy. Anytime my phone ring at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm answering it if it pertains to business. So I'm always, for the people I love and care about, I always make time even when I don't have time. So people misconstrue with being a business owner and having time and what your expectations is at your job and how much money you actually make. And guys definitely are gold diggers.
And you know what I want to say?
And they also feel like say if I date them, sometimes they're intimidated because they're thinking that I'm making more money than them, and then they think that I should pay sometimes.
Honey, wait a minute. Let Miss Judy go back a little bit because this is so crazy. It's like, girl, I almost lost my train of thought. But it's like you go out with a man and they automatically assume that you have time to be at their beck and call.
Right.
And that's one of the pitfalls of dating a man who knows nothing about business. Because if he knows anything about business, and especially you running your own business or your own ministry, is that you are always thinking, you're always on the move, you're always on the go. And then when you do have downtime, you have to rest. You have to rest your mind.
Yes.
You have to rest your body in order to regenerate, to keep going. And so even, I know for myself, when I started working at Meharry, my husband would always say when he came home, well, you ain't doing nothing but sitting around all day long. That's one of the lines that, and I'm like, do you not know that my mind is working? And
yes.
Your body is, it's strenuous when you work in the body and your mind, but when you work in your mind at another level, it takes a toll on your body. So if you have a man or dating a man who doesn't understand business, or men, I'm going to be fair to you, dating a woman who doesn't understand business or your goals, quite naturally they sort of become a stumbling block if you allow them to.
Yes, I agree.
You know. And so when it comes to that, let's see, who is this? Amanda try to keep me on time. Vita, yeah, Davita, you know, I mean, it's just like they always have something to say. You being single and they're thinking that you should be at their beck and call, that's almost to me like a red flag.
Yes.
Because if you get involved with them, have there ever been some men in your life since you are dating that say, I think you're doing too much?
Most of them. Most of them think I'm doing too much. But some of them, like some men that I have dated, I don't know if they were trying to be supportive because they liked me and they wanted me to like them back. But some men have tried to invest in my business with their money. They have tried, like they have posted my stuff on social media. I have even gone on a date with a guy. He like bring your business cards. Literally, he wasn't shy at all. He handed it out to all the ladies in the place that we were at. But like, because I own a business, I'm very paranoid or cautious, as I say, because you never know people's intentions. So although one would think like that is really nice, but at the end of the day, you don't know why a person is doing that. They can be doing it just to get in with your good graces and take advantage, or they could just be a good person, but they're not doing this today. So therefore, whatever I felt was right.
That's crazy. I'm going to say this too, and I'm not going to say what you ride, okay? But when you ride what you ride, do you find you get a lot of
Mercedes?
Yeah, truck, you know. I wasn't going to say it.
Amanda was going to say it.
Yeah, Amanda probably should have said it the whole time. But when they see you in that, do they automatically adjust themselves? Because sometimes you can see people adjust themselves in mid-air.
Yeah. I mean, most of the men that I talk to kind of are on the same level as me. Like, they drive Mercedes and BMWs and stuff, too. It's been a couple of guys that haven't. Like, one guy shocked me that he was like, oh my God, you drive a Mercedes? I've never been in one before. And I'm like, it threw me off, and I was just trying to, like, be humble because I'm like, I'm not going to say it's just the car because obviously I know that it's a luxury car. But, I mean.
And it's a level of prestige.
Yeah, but for you to be that old,
How old was he?
He was like 29.
Oh, well, he's still kind of young and may not know. Hey, Marvin, how you doing? Glad to see you. We running a little late, but we here. And we on the same topic that we were on last week. Black women / women in business, dating, or married. And we're talking about the pitfalls. And now I know I'll talk about some high notes in it as well. But what you miss, Marvin, is that she said there are a lot of men who are gold diggers. We only think about women being gold diggers, but in actuality, if you think about the Western times, you think about out West, and you think about California, who was digging for gold? Who were the gold miners? They were men digging for gold. And so men have not stopped digging for gold. But it's not bad for a man to want a woman that's about her business. And that's another thing. They say stuff like, I want a strong woman, and I want a woman that's about her business. But then when they get one, they don't know how to treat you.
That's true.
Yeah, have you had the flip side of that? A man saying, I'm with you. I understand you. You did say they said they wanted to invest in you. But what was it about them that made you pull back? Other than possibly being paranoid, but I don't call it paranoid. I just call that washing out, for yourself.
Well, the guy that I was previously with, he was 100% invested into whatever I wanted to do. If I wanted to go to the moon, he's not asking no questions. We're going to the moon. But I was the one that had to initiate everything, to have to make the plan, make sure that we follow it. Like, he just followed along. Like, he didn't have a sense of his own direction. He didn't have a mind of his own. So therefore, he had good qualities, but he didn't have the qualities he needed, especially to be with a strong woman in the first place. So he didn't know how to lead. He knew how to follow, because that's
you just said something. Hold up, Marvin. Let me say this. She said this man, he had the qualifications that some women would have wanted, but not necessarily her, because she's a strong-willed woman. He had no get up and go. It's not enough sometimes men to invest in a woman. Sometimes we want you to take the lead. Marvin is saying men are checking the resume of women and what they bring to the table. Yeah, Marvin, we know that. And we know you all keep talking about you want strong, independent women. But when they come on the rise and when they're set before you, you don't, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying your species, the male species in general, doesn't know which way to go. It's like, you always say, black women don't know how to take a back seat. They don't know how to let a man lead. Here she is saying, I want a man who can lead me. And I remember Alan Brady preached a sermon, and he said that women would follow a man if the man knew where he was going. She's not going to follow a man.
I hold the compass, baby.
That's it. And so that's crazy that men will say that. You keep on saying the same thing over and over and over, and we keep saying, here we are. Not me, of course, because I already got mine, but I dealt with this. Okay, so this is nothing new to me. I overcame it. And whereas I was in that age group where women were really willing to help lead a man along the way, not necessarily the young ones are not necessarily doing that. They're saying, look, take this lead. Stop saying, whatever you want to do, baby. I don't care. That comes off as a little weak. To certain women.
Exhausting, very exhausting.
To certain women, a woman who is a control freak, even she'll get tired of that, because there's
I've been guilty of being a control freak. Not that I enjoy controlling others, but because I suffer through anxiety, I like to control my surroundings. So therefore, I don't like to fail and I don't like to drown. So if I feel like you're going to lead me into failure, or if you say, okay, I'm going to handle it, and then it's getting to the point that you don't know how to handle it and you won't ask because you feel like that makes you feel less than a man or less than a person, you're willing to let us drown because you are not, I'm not going to say man enough, but you don't have the qualities to be able to say, I don't know what I'm doing. Can you help me? So therefore, you rather for us to drown. I'm not drowning. So I'll snatch it up and pick it up and make sure we're straight.
And that's most women. That even goes as far as something as simple as having a husband and he's supposed to take the trash out on Wednesday. and he never takes the trash out on Wednesdays, or he takes the trash out too late and the trash man has already gone by and the trash is overflowed, and this keeps on going on and on and on and on, and you get tired of it, so you start doing it yourself, and then it builds up and you have an explosion, an argument, and the first thing comes out of his mouth, well, you won't let me be a man. But what we're saying is, be a man and do what it is you're supposed to do. That's it. Consistency. And I think that was Jay last week that said she likes a man with consistency. You know, you don't do it just because you want to get some brownie points. You know what them brownie points is, right? Or you want some pork chop sandwich. Okay? And Marvin has said what happens is when a man who wasn't taught to be a man. But you know what, Marvin? There are some men, and I think sometimes that's the fallback. You know, we say, well, you know, I wasn't taught, and this is not what I did, you know, and I didn't learn how to do it. But even if you weren't taught how to be a man and how to do specific things at a time, if you run up on a woman, or God blesses you with a woman who's willing to roll with you or rock with you or stand by you, why beat her down? And I have seen this, and I talk about this. You could take a woman, can take a man, and she could be beautiful. And she could take a man whose teeth are rotten, who's got BB shots down the back, he doesn't have good hygiene, clean him up, put him on some good smelling oils or cologne and send him to the dentist, and then he wants to turn around and stomp on that woman. Come on now. What? It doesn't take a lot for you to know I need to treat her right. And Amanda said, Marvin, Kathy, you create the man you want to be. And Amanda, that is so true. Like we as women, we trust God to show us. We know what our desire for ourselves is. We know what that is. Whether it comes to style or personality or whatever. And it's like, but most men only follow, I'm going to follow Jethro. You know, Jethro get on the job, and Jethro be talking about how he keep his woman, his foot on her neck, and next thing you know, you want to go and put your foot on her neck. Hold up. Wait a minute. It's swole up. It's not that kind of party. You know?
Yeah. And then also I feel like men give other men excuses to not do the right thing, as you said, that they wasn't taught. Women are not necessarily taught how to be women as well. I mean, I'm a product of a teenage mother. Mm-hmm. So therefore, there's a lot of things that she couldn't teach me. She couldn't teach me credit. She couldn't teach me college. She couldn't teach me building. She couldn't teach me business. Mother couldn't teach me those things. Yes, she did the best that she could with the skills that she had. But everything that I learned, I teach her. And I teach everybody else around me because I want to know. I'm determined to, I see a life that I need and that I want, and I go after it. And men have those same possibilities. Because life is, I always tell everybody, I try to stay optimistic in a pessimistic world. So however, how you want to live your life, you live it on your own terms, and society doesn't decide, you decide.
Man, she just got in from New York, Marvin, so she's not here. But I hope the men and those who hear this are paying attention to what she's saying. Women are not necessarily taught things either, but we go after it. You know, and there's a big thing there that a lot of men, black men, are becoming. Hey, D. Lachey, that's another power-packing woman right there. D. Lachey is making it happen. D. Lachey is looking for a husband as well. D. Lachey, the topic tonight is black women / women in business, or dating or married, the pitfalls of that. Sometimes how men try to oppress us and keep us from moving forward. And even though I put that / women in there, I'm talking about us as a group of women. Of course, we know it's across the board, women, period. I don't care whether she's African, Ethiopian, Caucasian, Chinese, Japanese, Laotian, it doesn't matter. There's an oppressive spirit when it comes to women.
Yes.
And especially when we try to do business or they try to pimp us.
Yes.
You know, the thing that we really knew about pimping was that, you know, we go in and dude clothe us and he feed us, but yet we got to go out and sell monkey, you know, or do what you do. And that's crazy. And there is a form of pimping today. And she also said that men are top of the line when it comes to gold digging. Now, you a young 30-year-old woman with your own. How do you say? She got her own car, she got her own house, she got her own business, she got her own bank, she got her own clout. She doesn't need a man to complete her, but she wants a man. That's the thing about it. Women nowadays don't need men to complete them. They want him. They want to share their life with him. They want to grow with him. They want to create an empire with him. But what you have are men who have, and not all men, but a lot of men who have low self-esteem.
They always need you.
Needy and clingy. We talked about clingy. Let's see, what is he saying? Marvin is saying, one thing I noticed with women, when you have kids, they don't like dealing with the situation. A lot of women don't want to date men with children. Mm-hmm. And it used to be men didn't want to date women with children, but the script has changed. Because some of those women said to these fathers, no, you take care of that child. And they went on about their way, so he's a good father. And he loves his children. And it is hard for a man to date women with who don't have children, who have children. The men have children, but the women don't. But let me tell you what part of that is. Part of that is a woman will sit back and she'll watch how he treats the children that he already has. So if he's not treating those children right, she knows if by chance she gets pregnant, what you gonna do to her. I know women who put their kids in front of themselves. There are a lot of women who put their children in front of themselves, as they should, because that child didn't ask to be here. You know, that child becomes number one priority, or should be. But even in the old days, there were men, and women who would fix that man's plate first and then feed the children. Let me tell you what I do. I'm sort of old-fashioned. Let's see, Amanda, you ladies, okay. It's like at my house, I fix my husband's plate, or I cook with my grandchildren, and I say, take granddaddy his plate. Or we sit down at the table and they fix granddaddy. That's out of respect. That's not out of you better. And sometimes my husband will say, oh, let them kids go on and eat. But you have some men who are like, I'm the head of the house, and whether you're on food stamps or not, fix my plate first. I preached a sermon one time. The women get food stamps for their children and themselves, but they take on a gold-digging man. They go to the grocery store. He gets mad about what she's putting in the basket and proceeds to cuss her out in the store. Okay, I've seen all kind of crazy stuff. And it's not even, the food stamps are not even for him, they're for her children. Likewise, I've seen women with children feed a man steak and the children a peanut butter and jelly, not even bologna. Let's say some don't care and want a man so bad that it doesn't matter how the man treat the kids, along as what she gets, what she wants. And
that's
most of the time,
society tells you that you need a man. Society tells you that's what a family looks like. They tell you that it's a woman, it's a man, and it's children. So bad that women are so desperate to have that because they think that it's some type of magical love, when really they're lusting and they're getting in a bad situation where mentally they can't even think and function to live a better life because they're so worried about being loved that they forget how to love themselves. All because society tells them that's what a family looks like.
Wait a minute, Marvin. Let me tell you something. Now, that is in the scripture. It's the man, it's the mother, and there's the children. There's a hierarchy. But the thing of it is, like anything, it gets misused. Mm-hmm. It gets misused and it's taken out of content. That man is that covering. And when he has to be off from work, that wife is that covering. So those children remain covered. And sometimes they put the children between them so that the children are protected. But a lot of people are just selfish.
Yes.
And like you said, thirsty women. I always talk about thirsty women. There are a lot of thirsty women. Old mothers on the motherboard can't really fulfill her role to train up the young women into the church because she too busy being thirsty herself. Looking over at Deacon Doo-Woppy, and she's 65 and Deacon Doo-Woppy is 66. And she looking at him, but Deacon Doo-Woppy don't want her because he want him a 21-year-old. But he'll go over to her house and she'll feed him and she'll fix dinner for him And it's just really crazy how the game goes, but it's stupid. Marvin says sometimes you ask a woman what their goals are, and they can't always tell you. They don't have the answers.
Well, life is not always knowing about what path you're going down. If you're able to sit with someone and ask them the top 3 things they want to do next week, that's more realistic than asking them what their goals is for next year. They don't know. Just
or the next 5 years. You
exactly.
know what? People used to ask me, because it was this cliche. Can you tell me what your goals would be for the next 5 years? I really couldn't tell you what my goals would be for the next 5 years, because I'm trying to make it from day to day. Now, if you ask me what desires that I have, I can tell you, well, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. But that's a process to anything.
Yeah, and I think they create a bunch of liars when they ask people what are they going to do in the next couple of years. People don't know, so they just answer the question because they want to feel a part of something.
He said some women want to be a man's mother instead of their equal. No,
y'all guys want mothers. Y'all want second and third mothers.
Yeah. You know, you want somebody to cook your food. Your mama used to cook your food. There's only one thing that's different between the mama and your woman, and that's the sex. I hope you ain't doing your mama. Not talking about you, Marvin, but there's some men out there. You know, they don't know how to differentiate except for that one thing. You want that woman to cook. He wants a domesticated animal. You know, and that's just crazy. You said not really. Yes, really. Yes, really. That's what we know. Even when it comes to women in business or trying to get ahead, that's part of the problem. That most men don't know how to be a man in the sense of being that support system for that woman, because when that woman grows, you grow. When that woman looks good, that's your woman, boom.
Yeah, men always talking about women being their piece. Sometimes, especially with me being in business, be my piece. Because there's a lot of things that you face on an everyday basis of losing profit and loss and business and losing employees and not being able to make certain demands. You want to go home and you want a man to sometimes be cooking you dinner. Make sure the house smelling good and just being your piece, knowing that that day, that's what you need from him.
It's nothing wrong. I think you said, Marvin, that your mama cooked your meal until you was 16. My son is getting ready to come home. I'm going to cook my son's meal. But what I'm not going to do is, even though my son, and I know this, is a mama's boy, he's going to be a man. He's going to be a good man to whatever woman that he chooses, because I'm going to make sure. Because at the end of the day, he don't need to fall back on me. He needs to be able to stand on his own. Let's say Marvin said, I cook my own food, and for anyone else, well, that's good that you can cook, but it's more to it than just cooking your food, Marvin. See, that's where you at, baby. You cook your own food. You pay your own bills. That's good. Some men don't even know how to do that. But for a woman that's trying to move forward, and you have this man, and that could be a stagnant, that could be an issue. I can't read all this. You're going to have to read some of this. Ooh, Lord, they moving too fast. Wait a minute. But sometimes that's a good. Hey, baby, hey, y'all moving a little too fast, man. Amanda, the speed breeder, is not here. But it's like, if you, how am I going to say this? Some men
just need to grow up and realize that
I'm trying to be nice. Yeah, but
women are not put on this earth to just cater to y'all. It's not even a 50-50 thing, because I don't even believe in that. If you have a 50-50 relationship, y'all are just roommates that like each other. You know, so I don't definitely believe in 50-50. I believe in whatever is your weakness, my strength, whatever is your strength is my weakness, and then we work on our weaknesses together.
Now, this is what I'm saying, because I know Dealer Shay is up. She is planning on being a millionaire in no time. And Martha has his been provided for 17 years. Okay, that's good, Marvin, but you can still be stagnated. Just because a man has taken care of himself, or he's been on his own a long time, does not mean that he knows how to really congeal with a woman, or latch onto a woman, or become close-knit with a woman. Because sometimes, I know how to do it. I've been doing this on my own. I don't need you to do nothing for me. That type of mentality, you can't grow with a woman doing that. And some women can't grow with men doing that. And that's what we're talking about. There are issues when a woman, you see, with you, it sounds like, Marvin, and this is something for you to think about. It sounds like as long as she comes and she sits there and she does what you tell her to do, then you will be all right with her. But as soon as she just starts thinking and having ambitions or sharing her ambitions with you, then that becomes a problem.
Yes. Just even, for example, I've had employees who either are married or have an active father for their children, but have had to cut their hours at work because they say, oh, well, my husband can't handle the kids by himself.
That's sad. Hey, Elizabeth Brown, that's sad that a man can't handle children by himself. Amanda says, that's Andrew Patton. Andrew, bossing a woman around isn't providing. No, it's not providing. Andrew Patton, man, I'm so proud of you. Andrew Patton, no, but a lot of men think control makes him the man, and it's not. Just because he goes to work and he pays some bills, maybe he pays all the bills. There have been cases where men have died, and because he did everything, that woman didn't know where to begin or what to do. You know, so it's like, this is crazy. Do you want a puppet? Do you truly want somebody that you can grow with? Do you really know how to grow with a woman? Where is your self-esteem as a man? Have you assessed your self-esteem? We've got this young single woman here, and she's desiring a mate, a husband, somebody that she can grow an empire with. Do you even understand what the word empire means? That means she can have a business, be beauty salon, can be in every state. But she can't be in every state. Can she trust her husband to go and manage the businesses without trying to sleep with the people that work for him? That kind of stuff. You don't
without
know.
Being insecure and feeling like he is not a part of anything, so he wants to destroy it or take it.
Oh, because some of them do that. Mm-hmm. Take your business. Try to undermine you.
Madam C.J. Walker, the movie.
Oh, man, that was good, too.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a real issue with her.
Exactly.
And then when we boss up, we take a stand and do what we need to do. Oh, she a hater. First thing you want to throw on her, oh, she a lesbian. Because we choose to be strong, which is what we do anyway. Let me ask you something. Marvin brought up a point. How do you feel dating a man with children? Seems that because you don't have any children. Let's talk about that.
Let's say this. I'm 30, so therefore the feel of a lot of men not having children, it's kind of 50-50 because most men that I attract don't have children. But I'm also really not attracted to men that have children. I think a lot of men that have children don't have any boundaries with the mothers, any consistency. I've seen some men be great fathers, but I know in my life, it's not that I demand a lot of attention, but I would like to come first. And I would like to have a family that I have built with someone instead of coming in someone's already half-made family.
Wow.
So I'm not opposed to it, but I rather date men that don't have children. Or I'll date older men that have grown children.
Okay. Some of y'all men 50 and 60, y'all got a chance. Look, she said as long as your children grown and they know their place, she doesn't have a problem with that. And she said she doesn't necessarily, she said that some fathers, they don't have boundaries with the mothers or the children. Talk about that, the boundaries.
Okay, so I dated this guy that had a child with this woman, and he cared for her. Like, he spoke highly of her. He respected her. But she was able to come in at any time, do whatever she wants, and he had no boundaries. He will always say, well, this is my child's mother. I don't want to see her on the street, so I'm going to let her move in with me. I'm going to give her money because then my child is going to go without. And I always used to tell him, like, I admire that that's where you stand, but I can no longer be a part of it because there's no boundaries. It's not that you help the woman. It's that she doesn't have any boundaries, and she's going to continue to take advantage of it because she knows where you stand.
Oh, Let me tell you something. Remember what I told you? I'm putting this on YouTube, so I have to do these 30-minute increments, and I may have overgone that 30 minutes. But we're going to take a 5-minute break, okay? Maybe less than 5 minutes, and we're going to come back. Be thinking about that. Tag somebody. Share this post. Tell them to tune in to part 2 of issues. Okay? All right, break.